I'm actually going to fucking suck. What's going on, everybody? I'm DunkinMan, and I'm finally back after quite a few days. I've actually been in the process of moving, for those of you who care to know why I haven't been uploading. So there's the reason. Today, I'm actually going to be bringing you another NU session, because that's just what I'm feeling. And I'll actually be using a really terrible team that I made a few days ago. It is trash, pure trash. And my main goal was, it's not even a few days ago that I made this. I actually made this like a week or so ago. But it was meant to counter anything that had Feraligatr, and I didn't really feel like using Frillish or Pharaoh Seed. So I actually used physically defensive Gourgeist here, nicknamed Gourgeist Small just to fool people. Because if you didn't know, it only has one Gourgeist sprite on the Showdown simulator. So people see Gourgeist Small, they might think, oh, okay, this has got the stat spread of Gourgeist Small, but it doesn't. It's large. I went with large as opposed to the extra large because it's slightly different. I think it's a little speedier, and that's kind of what I want. It's got 69 base speed as opposed to like 58 or 59. So that's what I got rocking there. Leech Seed, Will-O-Wisp, Substitute. I got Seed Bomb on there too, just because it's stronger than, what do you call that? Shadow Sneak. And it hits Feraligatr harder, of course. Then I've got physically defensive, no HP, Assault Vest Lapras. This is a really weird set that I thought about, and I'm not really sure if it does any work. But the idea was that if I ran into a Feraligatr that carried Frustration, then I would just use my Gourgeist to counter it. But if I ran into one that had, say, Ice Punch, this also actually, the Gourgeist actually counters Earthquake ones as well. But if it's got Ice Punch, this thing walls the hell out of it, and that's exactly what I wanted. It can also hit back with Freeze Dry or Thunderbolt for other things. I don't actually know why I have Thunderbolt. I guess it's just sort of a coverage move. So there's that. Assault Vest because it evens out its bulk quite nicely. It's got a really high HP stat, so you kind of don't need to invest in it as bad. It doesn't really take all the hits that it could because it's spread so much, but it takes a lot of hits well. And that's my idea. I've got terrible Seviper here with Assault Vest, which, like I said, is terrible. It's got Shed Skin because Infiltrator's alright, but Shed Skin can get rid of Burn and Paralysis, which is just fine with me. Giga Drains, Flamethrower, Sludge Wave, just good coverage moves for it. And it's got max special attack, so those will hit hard. Knockoff, just because I might as well run Knockoff, because why not? Let's see, and please excuse my commentary if it's not really up to par because it's 1:20 in the morning right now. This is the time that I could find to actually record, so that's what I'm doing. I've got Carbink here, which I haven't used at all so far, and I thought it was interesting to run a max defense, calm mindset with Moonblast Ancient Power, and Stealth Rock just because this thing doesn't really get that many moves. It's about as useful as Diancie, but it's still, I hope it does a little bit of work. I don't know why I have 4 in speed, actually. Let me look at that again. Oh, just to outspeed base 50s. I don't know particular reason why, but who cares. Then I've got pretty standard Sock, but I've got Inner Focus, and before I get a lot of criticism about that, I'm not a big fan, first of all, of flinching like Fake Out, and I wanted to be able to bring this, have this in against, say, a Kangaskhan who might go for Fake Out and just pop it with a close combat. And not to mention that Choice Scarf Sock doesn't really hit things so hard that it might go through Sturdy or anything like that. So I'm not really going to run Mold Breaker, and my own Sturdy is often going to be compromised by things like Spikes or Stealth Rock, so what's the point in having it? I got Close Combat, got Knockoff, of course, because same reason, has Knockoff, run Knockoff. Rock Slide and Ice Punch are actually kind of redundant. I might run something else on here, but there aren't a lot of options for it. I think Earthquake is pretty redundant as well, and Choice Scarf, Poison Jab doesn't do a whole lot of damage, but I don't care. That's what I'm running, and that's just the way it's going to be. I can hit Vile Plume a lot better with Ice Punch, that's the thing. and then Ninetales right here. I've used this before. I don't know if I've used it in a session or not. I might have used it in one of my very earlier videos. But you know, it's just got Nasty Plot, Life Orb. It's got Flamethrower, Energy Ball, Dark Pulse. Dark Pulse could be Extra Sensory or it could be Psyshock, but for right now, I'm gonna go with Dark Pulse because that's what I ran before. So, like I said, team's kind of trashy, but we're gonna go ahead and find a couple of battles. I'm gonna change this team right here. That's my old team, and look for a battle. Now, I haven't been battling on top of my moving. I haven't been battling a whole lot because I've seen a whole lot of combustion pass crap that I don't want to deal with, and you know, I've played a few games that I've had trouble against that kind of thing. So it kind of put me off because it's a really shitty strategy, and if you ever use it, then I think you're pretty much not a good player. Even if you're using it to ladder, that makes you a worse ladder player, in my opinion, because it's so cheap. But regardless, we're going to get into this battle right here. He might lead off with his Archeops, is my guess. And I don't have a really good matchup against that thing, but for what it's worth, I guess I can lead with... I'm just going to lead with this thing, because yeah, he could have Stone Edge, but I am physically defensive, and I think Freeze Dry might be a good option at this point, so that's what I'm going to go for. He just goes into Licky Licky. That's okay. That doesn't do a whole lot of damage, and that doesn't bother me. I think I can just go into my Gourgeist right here because most Licky Licky only carry a normal stab, meaning that he won't be able to hit me. He does go for Body Slam. Now I'm expecting him to want to go into his Shift Tree right here, so I'm going to hit that thing with a Will-O-Wisp. I get the burn on it. That's awesome. And then I can switch. He's going to want to go for a knockoff, and I don't really have anything for that. I really don't want to compromise my whatever this thing's called, Carbink. For whatever reason, I don't want to get rid of his leftovers. So looking at his team, I don't think I need the Assault Vest on my Seviper since it doesn't really help. And I can just, yeah, whatever, take that. I can eat up any of his grass hits. So I'm gonna go for knockoff, expecting Licky Licky to come in because that thing just seems to be his wall. No, he goes into Archeops, which is okay. He probably had a Sash. He didn't have anything, so I'm about to get rocked with an Acrobatics right here. So what I'm gonna do is probably go into my Carbink. Just, he goes for knockoff. So God, okay. I can't criticize him for having knockoff because, you know, I have two things with knockoff, but I'm really not impressed by any means with the fact that he just went for knockoff like twice in a row. Right here, this thing basically has lost all of its use, so I'm just gonna stay in because this thing is way too much of a threat. I hate this thing, and I don't see anything on his team that really stops me from going for Gramble. Gramble stops me from going for close combat and stuff. So at that rate, he knows I'm scarfed. I'm sure he does. And he's just going to go into his Gramble here. I'm going to go for knockoff. He doesn't go into his Gramble. That's alright, I live. And I can kill him with another knockoff. So he can't really switch out into anything. If he wants to play the knockoff game, that's what we're doing. And so be it. But now he can kill me with Sucker Punch from his Shift Tree, which is whatever. Okay, now he goes into Gramble, but like I said, this is why I went for knockoff in the first place. I want to get rid of his leftovers and then switch. He has Earthquake, and he'll probably go for that. I'm just going to go into my Gourgeist because I'm physically defensive, man. He has Heal Bell. That is not a problem for me. I'm going to go for Sub right here, see what he wants to do. He has Crunch, which is alright. It's okay. I'm still going to go for Willow. Don't you miss. See if I can eat that Crunch up. Yummy, yummy, yummy. And then I can just go for Leech Seed, as he probably goes for the Heal Bell. Yep. so I haven't really lost anything here. He can't really afford to stay in, so I'm going to go for another substitute. He goes into Shift Tree. I can just burn this thing again, and that's not going to be too good for him. If he wants to go into his Typhlosion, that might be a pretty good play, but he would take some Stealth Rocks damage, so I don't know how good of a play that would be. So he is going to get this thing, let this thing get burned again, which is fine by me, because that means he'll have to Heal Bell that off again with his Granbull another time, which will waste him a turn. And I can just go for Seed Bomb right here as he goes into Licky Licky. He probably has something on that as well, but I don't really think he can touch me. I mean, he might have Heal Bell on this, but he's really not getting anywhere against this Gourgeist. So Gourgeist is definitely coming in handy. And even though I nicknamed this Gourgeist small, he still says Gourgeist large. Well, that's annoying. He could definitely try and pass this Wish off to his Archeops, so I'm going to try my best to not let that happen. Awesome. That thing's dead. That thing is a huge problem. And he forfeits. Well, that's really stupid. He can't have his Archeops around. Whatever. This will be the only other game I'm getting in this part because it is still kind of late and this is a rain team. So my priority is to kill his rain setters, which are probably Emolga, Ludicolo, and Politoed. Politoed doesn't have Drizzle, but he still can. I don't know, I'm gonna go into Gourgeist. He leads off with Cast Form, so he's got the Damp Rock. Oh man, he's faster than me too. That's just fantastic. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot, Cast Form. Whatever, I'm just gonna get a Will-O-Wisp off. I don't care. Oh my god, are you kidding me? Whatever. Hacks is really annoying, so that's another reason why I haven't been playing that much. I used to, you know, for a while there I was really loving playing, and I was really loving recording and uploading, but right now I'm just finding that Pokemon is getting to be a lot of shit, and the worst thing is that NU has become really standardized, and that's really shitty in my opinion. So he's probably not going to want to stay in here. He might think he can hurt me with a Life Orb, Giga Drain. He probably can, but not that bad. I'm just going to pop him with this Freeze Dry, and he's going to die. So definitely Salt Vest Lapras came through here. Emolga's going to come in. That thing's probably going to die to a Freeze Dry as well. Took that Thunder really well. And I'm doing, oh man, Lapras did his job. Lapras just came through. So if anything, you guys should be aware that this thing is a monster. I'm sure he outspeeds me here, but I'm just going to go for Surf anyway. He goes for Knockoff. That's fine with me. Because right here, I can just, I'm sure I can live a Knockoff from this thing and go for a Will-O-Wisp. So, yeah. Just do not miss. I swear to God, you pumpkin. Okay, cool. So, I may have lost my two really big walls, but at the same time, I have severely hurt his team, and I can get this Leech Seed off for no reason. So he just took a lot of residual, and he's going to have to waste another turn here going for a knockoff if he wants to kill me. Or I can get this nice Seed Bomb off on his water type, which was, that was a bad play in my opinion, and now I can threaten him out and prevent him from going for the old Rain Dance again, so his Rain is not coming back. Close Combat's just going to take this thing out. He can bring in his Hariyama right now. It'd be awesome if he did, but he did not. So I'm going to go into my this right here. Ooh, that was a really good play on his part. Oh, well, no, not really. I guess I wasn't in with a fighting type, but I'm sure I can outspeed with Ninetales, and I can definitely live a hit. So I'm just going to go for Energy Ball. If he wants to go into his Hariyama, that's cool too. That didn't do a whole lot of damage, but he actually kind of makes a misplay there. And what I want to do here is, because, well, I don't know if he'll want to save this Politoed too much. I think he wants to switch out into his Hariyama because it's probably Assault Vest. I'm just going to risk it. Nice. He goes into Armaldo, which is Swift Swim, but he's burned. So I'm not terribly worried. I think I can kill him with Energy Ball. He doesn't go for Aqua Jet, and he's not very swift, so that's a thing. Hariyama comes in. I'm not terribly worried. Fake Out hurts, but he's Life Orb, so he's not Assault Vest. Flamethrower is pretty much a no-go at this point. But that does mean that Carbink can come in and just go for a nice Moonblast. I don't really need it for anything else, and it'll probably help kill this thing. Yeah, see, I'm 4 times weak to that, and I just ate it up. Get out of here. So he'll bring in his Politoed now, go for a Scald or a Hydro Pump or whatever he wants to. I'm just going to go for another Moonblast. He goes for Surf. Okay, so he's got that. I think that Close Combat should be able to knock this out, so GG to that guy. And yeah, that's pretty much going to be the part, because I'm already a little stressed out, and that was a win against a Rain team that was fairly well built. Don't know if it was played as well as it was built, but still, I had a good time with that last battle, and I guess I'll catch you guys with part 2 next time. So peace!